The multi-class shotguns are in a strange spot. By default, they are the most basic secondary weapon for the majority of the classes, but since they've been added, each class has gained multiple unique weapon types in their secondary slot, leaving the shotguns to become basically obsolete. But just because there are unlocks which are more unique, it doesn't mean that these shotguns are useless. In fact, each shotgun still has its place in the game, even with the high amount of alternatives available. Each one brings something to the table that's often overlooked, and offering underrated uses that can give you an edge in certain situations. So today we're going to take a deeper look at each shotgun, and how despite being a little bit overshadowed by their flashier, more specialised counterparts, they still have something of value to offer in the right hands. First up, let's talk about the soldier. Since the rocket launcher is such a strong weapon in the soldier's arsenal, the stock shotgun barely sees any use at all. The high damage and splash radius of the stock rocket launcher already makes it a powerhouse at close range, leaving little room for the shotgun to shine. With rocket jumping, you can choose to approach or to avoid enemies, which makes the shotgun's ship damage from a distance become nearly irrelevant. On top of that, the soldier's other secondaries, such as the banners, offer buffs that directly enhance its primary weapon, making it a more desirable option in terms of synergy. Unlike the stock shotgun, which doesn't provide any buffs or support your primary rocket launcher, the banners can increase damage output and grant you more survivability, giving you a stronger advantage in combat. But you know what everyone's favourite class C engineer says? To use a gun. And if that don't work, you use more gun. In the case of the soldier, the rocket launcher certainly has its strengths, except of course a couple of key drawbacks. First of all, it can be tough to hit those direct rockets, especially if your target is moving unpredictably. And second, when they get in your face, that's when things get tricky. You're at risk at taking self-damage, which is never ideal and is where the stock shotgun can come into play. It offers a quick and reliable way to deal with those pesky close-range encounters where your rockets will just not cut it or even hinder you. Switching to your secondary is always faster than reloading, and that's where the stock shotgun shines. If you've burnt through all of your rockets, especially with weapons like the black box where you only have 3 to begin with, the shotgun becomes your best friend. It can deliver powerful bursts of damage, and not only which can save you the time of reloading, but it can keep you in a fight for longer when you're out of rockets, especially in large team fights. But if you want to use the shotgun as a follow-up, there is the obvious option, the panic attack, which with its faster switch speed allows you to transition from your rockets into a quick secondary shot with ease. This is especially useful in those tight moments where you fired all your rockets, you need immediate follow-up to finish off a target. The panic attack's faster switch speed lets you stay on the offensive without losing momentum, giving you a smoother transition from one weapon to the next. While the stock shotgun can still do the job, the panic attack is built for more quicker responses, making it a great alternative when you need something snappy and reliable in close quarters. On top of this, the panic attack can actually deal higher maximum damage than a stock shotgun, making it even better in closer range situations. With its faster switch speed, you can dish out damage even quicker than stock. However, this comes with a downside. The panic attack isn't as effective as at mid-ranges where the spread can become a little bit more unpredictable. Still, overall it is probably more better than stock in the situations with a soldier where you want to follow up after a rocket barrage or just dealing with enemies who are in your face to avoid self-damage. The other shotgun that soldier can use is a reserve shooter, which, similar to the panic attack, has a faster switch speed, but while it doesn't match the panic attack's lightning fast switch speed, it still offers a faster response time than a stock shotgun. The reserve shooter's main gimmick is the ability to deal mini crits to airborne targets, making it perfect for a fun and effective combo with your rockets. You can launch enemies into the air with well-placed rockets to the feet, and then follow up with a reserve shooter shot to finish them off with mini crits. It's a satisfying playstyle that rewards good timing and accuracy, giving Soldier a nice bit of versatility. However, there are some things to keep in mind when choosing reserve shooter. It's probably not the best choice to pair up with rockets such as the black box, since both weapons have a smaller clip size, and you might find yourself running out of ammo more quickly than you'd like. Similarly, avoid using it with the direct hit, as both weapons deal increased damage to airborne targets. It just makes the direct hit's upside overshadow the reserve shooters. That said, the reserve shooter can work really well with some of the lesser used rocket launchers such as the Liberty launcher. While the Liberty launcher does less rocket damage overall, the reserve shooter can be used to finish off enemies. The Liberty launcher gives you one more rocket and faster rocket speed, allowing you to do the shotgun combo more often and quicker. This lets you make up for the downside of the Liberty launcher, allowing you to make use of its other upsides such as the less damage taken and the faster rocket speed. While Soldier's shotgun options may be overshadowed by its primaries, each one offers a unique advantage which can be surprisingly effective in the right hands, whether you're using the stock shotgun for reliable close-range combat, the panic attack for faster follow-up and higher damage up close, or a reserve shooter for a fun combo. Each weapon brings something worthwhile to the table. Now of course, the biggest upside for using a shotgun on the Soldier is being able to deal with pyros, since last time I checked you're not able to air blast bullets. And now that we have covered Soldier, it's time to move on to Pyro. But before that, seeing as you've made it this far, I've got a little favour to ask. You know that little button at the bottom of this video? Yeah, that one. The one that says subscribe. Think of it like a free crit. But instead of hitting someone with a rocket, it hits me right in the heart. So why don't you hit it so you can continue to watch more videos just like this one, where I discuss other underutilized weapons in TF2. Now, I don't usually do that kind of thing, but I just did to deal with it. Pyro has two main issues, a lack of mobility options and a lack of long-range damage. Thankfully, both of these are covered by the flare guns, which give you long-range damage, and the detonator or the jetpack, which can give you some mobility. And this leaves the shotguns feeling completely overshadowed in comparison. When you've got tools that address Pyro's biggest weaknesses so well, the shotguns start to feel quite redundant. But Pyro also faces a few more weaknesses, particularly with a lack of burst damage options, and this is where the shotguns could come in handy, giving Pyro a reliable option for quickly dealing with threats at close range. But of course, there are alternatives. Combo Pyro with the flare gun or the extinguisher allows you to deal high bursts of damage, or the Dragon's Fury primary, which is designed for rapid burst damage, already addressing the issue in more efficient ways. So once again, the shotguns end up being overshadowed, as Pyro has other tools better suited for dealing with burst damage. So what really is the point for the shotguns? Well, there is another issue when it comes to Pyro's kit, and these are the weapons that just screw you over for no reason. Take the Darwin's Danger Shield, the Vaccinator, or the Demonite's Charge and Charge, which makes it a pain to be playing as Pyro, especially when your whole playstyle revolves around dealing fire damage. But here's where the shotguns can shine. By giving you a constant backup damage source, that's when the fire damage is not necessary. If you face against one of these very niche weapons, you can just switch to your shotgun and take them out. So if you do want to be using a shotgun, this is the way to do it. Burn people first, and then switch to the shotgun to finish them off. This combo plays on Pyro's strengths of setting enemies alight and then using the shotgun to deliver that final bit of burst damage, especially when they're already weakened by the flames. It's simple, but is an effective strategy, relying on the synergy between Pyro's flame damage and the shotgun's reliable close-range power. Alternatively, you could play like a slower scout. You run around with the stock shotgun and starting out with a high damage to weaken your target, then switch to your flames to finish them off. This mirrors using the scattergun and the pistol for scout, with the shotgun replacing the scattergun, and then using your flamethrower to clean up enemies you don't quite finish off. The benefits of doing this is obviously 50 more HP, and the flamethrower is significantly stronger than the pistol. If you do want to use a shotgun as Pyro, your best choice would be to do a mix of both of these choices. Start off with using consistent flames, and then in between your fire burst, fit in a quick shotgun blast and switch back to your flamethrower. This way you can maximize your damage per second, fitting in a shotgun blast in between your flame burst. But if you are looking to switch between your flamethrower and shotgun for maximum efficiency, you should turn to the panic attack. Just like the Soldier, the panic attack's faster switch speed makes it the perfect secondary for when you're looking for a quick follow-up after you're using your flamethrower, allowing you to keep up the pressure without any downtime. Pairing it with the degreaser takes it even further. The degreaser's own weapon switch speed stacks with the panic attacks, making it practically feel like you're dual wielding them. It's that quick. You can quickly go from flames to shotgun and back to flames in split seconds, dealing consistent damage with moments of high burst too. This combo is perfect for anyone wanting to maximize Pyro's damage output while maintaining smooth transitions between weapons. Although while this playstyle can be incredibly effective up close, it does mean you're less effective at range. With the panic attack, you lose some versatility that the other shotguns offer you in mid-range combat. The faster switch speed focuses on close range damage, something you're already excelling at as Pyro. With the degreaser, your afterburn damage decreases, meaning if you aren't making use of this combo, you're significantly weaker overall. Now I've got a question for you. Do you suck at air blasting? Are you using the backburner or the flog, but really hate soldiers? Are you playing on Hightower and just feel like making some random soldier start saying slurs in the game chat? Or do I have a weapon for you? The reserve shooter. This weapon used to mini-crit air blasted enemies, but unfortunately, that is no longer the case. So now the only time you can make use of it is if you somehow manage to air blast a rocket at an enemy and then finish them off with the reserve shooter. Or if you're dealing with an explosive jumping soldier who just cannot get enough of their own explosives. It is still a decent option for taking out those jump happy soldiers who think they're untouchable in the air, but other than that, it is basically useless. Overall, for Pyro, the stock shotgun is your go-to to mid-range burst damage, offering consistency in close to medium range combat. The panic attack shines when you need a quick switching, allowing you to rapidly transition between your flamethrower and shotgun for last minute follow-ups. As for the reserve shooter, don't bother. Just don't use it. Unless you hate soldiers, then do use it. Now on to Fat Man. Fat Man pretty much never uses any of the shotguns, simply because his primary weapon is already so powerful up close that the shotguns feel completely pointless. Why bother swapping to a shotgun when your minigun melts people faster anyway? On top of that, his little lunchies are incredibly versatile, letting him restore his own HP or heal up to his teammates, making them far more useful in actual gameplay than just pulling out a shotgun for some extra pew pew. Although the shotguns do have some use cases. When you're firing your minigun, you're even slower than how you normally are, basically turning you into a big angry sentry gun. Plus, it takes a moment to rev up before you can even start shooting. A shotgun secondary lets Fat Man run around the map without getting into a slow crawl, and fire instantly the moment he needs to, without any spin-up delay getting in the way. It's not as effective as just revving up though, but at least it's something. So what most people end up doing with the shotguns is go full comedy and go as a Fat Scout, running around at heavy speed, completely ignoring the minigun like it doesn't exist. It's not exactly the most effective playstyle. So how should you actually use the shotguns as Fat Man? Well, like I said earlier, the miniguns take time to spin up, and once they've spun up, you move at a snail's pace. The shotguns give you a way to move around the map or reposition quickly, while still being able to defend yourself if someone tries to ambush you on the way. It's less about going full Fat Scout, and more about giving yourself a bit of breathing room before fights. Stock is probably your best bet for just running around, since it's got solid damage and a decent spread without any weird drawbacks. The faster switch speed of the panic attack isn't really necessary for Fat Man, since you're not using the shotgun as a panic fallback like Soldier or Pyro would. The higher maximum damage isn't much use either, because let's be honest, you're the slowest class in the game. You're not going to be catching anyone off guard. Plus, the panic attack's larger spread makes it even worse at trying to hit anything reliably. But Fat Man does have a third shotgun, the family business. It gives you 2 more shots and a faster fire rate, but at the cost of dealing less damage per shot. The lower damage isn't even that bad though, and the extra shots and faster fire rate gives you a larger DPS than stock would. It is the best option for the Fat Scout playstyle, where you just keep firing away and overwhelm enemies with sustained fire. It's probably also the best for shotgun heavy, as the increased fire rate and ammo makes it more reliable for defending yourself. Now, the best miniguns to pair any shotgun with are not the best miniguns. It is the Natasha and the Brass Beast, both of which have slower spin-up times. The shotgun helps to negate that downside, letting you fire instantly when you need to, instead of sitting there like a sitting duck. The Hulong heater also works well, as it drains ammo faster, and you'll need a reliable secondary to make up for that ammo consumption. Plus, both the Natasha and Hulong heater have a damage reduction downside, so sometimes it is just quicker and more effective to blast enemies away with the shotgun. Now onto Engineer. Unlike the other classes, the shotgun is actually the Engineer's primary weapon, with his main focus actually being on building and maintaining his sentry guns and other buildings. It makes sense why the shotgun is such an important tool in his arsenal. It's not just a secondary, it's a reliable and self-defense weapon. Whether you're in a situation where your sentry is down, or when you're running off alone, or when you're dealing with a sap-happy spy trying to ruin your day, it gives Engineer a solid backup when his sentry isn't around to cover him, allowing him to fight off enemies or keep them at bay while he deals with the situation. Of course, this means that the stock shotgun is a fantastic option for your own self-defense. Solid damage, solid range, solid spread, no terrible downsides to ruin your day. But Engineer is a bit of a special case. Most of the time you'll have your wrench out, hitting buildings and doing your thing. And this means that when you're in a defensive situation, you'll need to quickly switch to your shotgun. And that is of course where the panic attack shines. Its faster switch speed makes it a fantastic option, if not just straight up better for when you're caught off guard and need to defend yourself quickly. Its higher damage lets you also take out targets slightly quicker than stock would, and overall just makes it more efficient. Sure, you're not going to win a sustained firefight with it, but all you need is 2 or 3 quick blasts to fend off a spy or another enemy trying to rush you, and the downside isn't even that bad. The panic attack lets you handle those quick moments with ease without making you lose too much time in the process. And the Engineer also has his own unique shotguns, each of which interact with his buildings or other class-specific mechanics, but these weapons are far more niche and tailored towards specific playstyles, making them less versatile than the stock or the panic attack. Because of that, I won't dive deep into them here. There's not much point in comparing them towards the stock or the panic attack, since they're suited for more supportive, unique role in the team, rather than just damage. These shotguns are specifically tailored to Engineer and his playstyle, just like how the other classes' secondaries are designed to fit their retrospective roles. Just because of this, the stock shotgun doesn't quite match up, as it lacks the unique advantages or synergies that the other class-specific secondaries provide. It's functional, but with better options available, the shotguns quickly become redundant in comparison. But just because there are more unique and specific weapons, doesn't mean that the shotguns themselves are useless. If you've forgotten about them or haven't used them in a while, maybe it's worth to give them another shot. Sometimes going back to basics can be surprisingly effective, and the shotguns can still be a solid choice depending on the situation, so don't write them off just yet. Did I get anything wrong? Disagree with my opinions? Think I missed something? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video or found it interesting, consider giving it a like, sharing it, and possibly even subscribing. And thank you for getting to the end.